Hi, folks. It's Paul Ramsey, and I'm joined by Chris Johnson, who is presenting a 2-hour workshop at the 2017 NGH convention. The title is NLP Regression, Faster, Gentler Regression. How are you, Chris?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm outstanding. I'm glad to have you here. So it says here, I've got you in my guide. I pulled up the convention guide, and it says here, help your clients release negative emotions and achieve their goals quickly and easily. You got great learning objectives, why traditional regression methods may be harming your clients, the steps to the overload induction, the thinking behind the overload induction, steps to NLP regression. There's a lot of good stuff here. Tell me about why is this topic important to you?
It's important to me because many of the old regression methods I've learned actually traumatize the clients. A lot of my clients, they come in and they just want to lose some weight, they want to stop smoking, whatever, and they don't understand the emotions behind it. So then if we're doing like a true cathartic revivification regression method,
Right.
they come out, they're like, God, I can't believe I just want to lose some weight. I didn't have to do all this. So as a result, this is much gentler. It's a remembrance, and there's emotions there, but it's not that visceral. You're going to relive that dog attack again, or whatever the case may be. It's a lot gentler on the clients.
Cool. What do you think next step sort of beyond that for people that come and spend these 2 hours with you, the content that you're going to teach them, the technique you're going to teach them? Tell me more about the value of knowing how to do this and how it'll help them with their practice.
It's going to help them because they're going to understand a regression method, which is gentler for their clients, like I alluded to. It's going to give them confidence because this is a very simple step-by-step process. In other words, it's like a flow chart. You do this step, you keep on going to the end of it, whereas a lot of the methods I've learned in the past, if they're kind of like jazz musicians, where they can just kind of like riff and go in different directions, which is great. That's not how I work. I prefer a very systematic approach. And for me, it works like gangbusters. And people I've taught this to, it's not original with me either. I've taken some classic methods and kind of squished them together like a Lego kind of construction.
Yeah.
And as a result, the reactions have been fantastic. People have taken my class before. I think this is the third year I'm offering this class. And they just love it. It's going to give them confidence to jump into regression in a manner in which is systematic and easy to implement, because regression for a newbie hypnotist and even some of the old pros out there can seem a little bit intimidating. And by having a very simple step-by-step method that's not going to horrify your clients looking at you like you're Dr. Mengele, they can jump into it and have confidence.
Yeah. Cool. I love the idea that you're going to give them a protocol that they can really follow that takes them through that. That's awesome. How did you get into hypnotism?
I got in hypnosis. Well, I started off as a magician. Actually, I'm still a magician. I do about 200 shows a year. The stage is my passion. And I have a friend from Texas who's also a magician. And one day he emails me, and we're talking on the phone after the email. He goes, you got to get into this hypnosis stuff. It's amazing. I'm like, I've heard of it, but I didn't know anything about it. So he sent me a videotape of his stage show. That's how long ago this was, an actual videotape, big old cartridge, And I got this show, and I was like fascinated by it. And I actually had considered learning stage hypnosis before, but had found that a lot of the people I'd seen, they did like dirty shows.
Yeah.
So my friend did a very clean show. And all these years later, I always help, because I'm better at marketing than he is. I always help him with his marketing and everything. So, oh, dude, thank you for all your help. I'm like, dude, you've given me your stage hypnosis show, which has bought at least 2 cars over the last few years for me, because my show is like 2/3 of his show. So I became fascinated with stage hypnosis, and then the clinical just kind of came after that. As I got more and more into the training, it just became, romanced by the allure of this art form,
Right.
and it's kind of took off from there. So now I do all three. I'm a stage guy, hypnosis, magic, and I have my clinic too.
Nice. Tell me about how, we'll get back to your core content here. As you got into looking at ways to do gentler regression and working this out, you said you took some different methods and sort of smushed them together. What was the thing was there like a real aha moment where you sort of catapulted yourself forward in terms of the results you could get? Like, can you tell me about that?
Yeah, I had a lot of different clients, but in particular, I remember one particular client. 2 of them came in together off of a Groupon I was running at the time, and it was like a 4-session protocol for each of them. And first session for both of them went fine. They came in together. The second time, one would wait out in my reception area, another one come in, and I did a standard regression methodology, which I'm not going to get into here because I don't want to offend any guild members. But anyway, And the one lady left, looked at me like I was Hitler, and then went into her car and sat down in the parking lot, put her seat back, and just, cause I could see her from my office while I was working with the other lady, and I could see her just kind of like this. I mean, it really bothered her, you know.
Yeah.
And I did all the steps, and at the end we had this resolution, informed child techniques, so on and so forth. We had the resolution, but it's still, it's like waking up. I equate it. My experience is like waking up from a bad nightmare, you know, where it's over, it's done. You know, it's not reality anymore, but it lingers with you.
Yeah.
And that was just like my tipping point. I'm like, man, I got to learn something else. And
Yeah.
that was kind of like my aha moment, you know.
Cool. Good for you for figuring that out. Well, listen, you guys, you see the perspective here. I think that's a really great illustration of what motivated Cris to make this change. And if you've ever had similar experiences, maybe you're ready for a change in your methodology as well. So you've got a chance to come to the convention in August. It's Friday, the first day of the convention, 11 a.m., 2-hour workshop, NLP regression, faster, gentler regression with Cris Johnson. Cris, thanks for making this time for me.
Pleasure's all mine, Paul. Thanks.
All right, we'll see you in August.
Awesome.